Hello and welcome to the Education Gym on the University of Saskatchewan campus, where Shaw Cable 10 is bringing you the 1994 Juvenile National Volleyball Championships. My name's Kerry Alcorn. I'll be doing the play-by-play for today's match. I'm joined by Tom Graham, former national team player and head coach of the University men's team here at the University of Saskatchewan. Tom, it looks like an all-Western final for us today in the men's match.
Yes, it does. As a matter of fact, it's so west that only Alberta and British Columbia are actually represented in this thing. We have the representatives from BC, which come from Victoria, and the representatives from Alberta that come from the University of Calgary club system. And should be a fairly interesting final because both of these teams run what you would term a national team style offense. British Columbia's offense in particular is just radical. They've got setters setting from different positions on the court, left front, middle front, right front, different things like that, and they run a multiple offense. Their concern, they feel, is with Calgary's 31s, or their long quick sets in the middle, and for that reason they want to pinch in their end blockers and take away that shot as much as they can from Calgary's middle hitters. Other than that, I'm not all that up on what these teams plan to do against each other, except try to run their offenses and basically baffle the opposing team's block as much as they can with that.
They sure will hit the ball, though, Tom. You mentioned how radical BC's offense is. Wait till you see their serve receive rotation. it's a little bit different, too, but
yeah.
We just finished the warm-ups about 2 or 3 minutes ago, and they put on a display that was quite impressive.
Yeah.
Some very, very good players on both sides. Maybe I'll just run through the roster real quick here for both sides. For the University of Calgary Dinos, we have Pete Exall, the captain, number 12. Number 3 is Brody Wagner. Number 1 is Chris Bodie. Number 13 is Graham Gent. Number 7 is Jamie Benke. 11, Dana Bang. 9, Stephen Hart. 10, Sean Craig. 14, Doug Gear. And 5 is Leland Nelson. For Victoria, we have number 1, Sam Jeffrey. Number 2, Cal Ewer. Number 3, Justin Burgers. Number 4, Alex Blade. Number 5, Mike Zach. Number 10, Terrell Oathwaite. Number 12, Chris Galanzowski. 14, Alan Dack. 15, Tim Fitzgerald. And 16, Mike Dalziel. The coach for BC is someone who might be familiar to her, Vic Lindell, the coach for Calgary. I don't have right now, so we'll get back to you on that one.
His name is Mark Eckert. He's another in a long line of developmental coaches who work in Greg Ryan's Dino system out at the University of Calgary. It's a well-funded, well-organized system that includes midget teams, that includes obviously juvenile teams, since the Calgary team is here today, and obviously a very, very strong university program at the U of C. They were the national championships a year ago, and have been the national championships once before that in Greg's tenure with the Dinos, which is about 10 years long at the moment.
So it should be an exciting match. As Tom mentioned, both teams have some fairly sophisticated attacking. Both teams will attack from the back row, too, so that's something a little bit different than what we saw in the girls' game.
I think we may have some serious problems as commentators here, though, Kerry. I mean, we've got both teams in black jerseys. This could be a little confusing for people with as few brain cells as you and I.
Well, speak for yourself, Tom. Anyways, to our right, then, will be BC. To our left will be Calgary. So, not that there's too much to distinguish them in terms of colors, as I said. So BC will serve first. Again, it's a best-of-5 match. If we get to a 5th game, it'll be rally point scoring in the fifth game. That's number 14, Alan Dack, serving, and he immediately serves out of bounds. So side out to Calgary here. Number 12 is the center for the Dinos, Pete Exall. Passed well. High ball killed outside by number 12, Chris Galanzowski.
BC has an interesting setter. He's actually from Saskatchewan originally, Terrell Oathwaite. His dad moved eventually to Kelowna to take a job with the Okanagan Sun football team, so Terrell obviously went out there. And Terrell right now is living in Victoria, but he's only really set for about 6 months. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of a job he does in running the Victoria offense today.
And Terrell is what you might call a bit of a beast too, Tom. He's a big, strong kid.
Terrell's robust, yes indeed.
Robust is a good word. So we see Victoria rattling off 2 quick points here. A couple errors on the part of the Dinos here. You'll see number 13 for the Dinos, Graham Gent, hit an awful lot of balls. He's by far their biggest offensive threat, I think. Hitting the high ball, but out of bounds again.
Both of these teams seem to use 2 people most of the time to pass the court, and that is something that has happened in recent years, and with a lot of the national teams in the world. These 2 juvenile teams are no exception to that.
4 hits called that time. That was number 12, Chris Galanzowski, not getting the ball of the net. Now, if we get a chance to look at BC's service rotation, they all start on the back line together as the opponent goes back to serve, and from there they just kind of disperse into the rotation. Interesting way of doing things.
Well, it is. I suppose it has some benefit as far as confusing the other team's server. If you don't really know where they are or where they're going prior to the serve, then you have a little less opportunity to serve away at the people that you'd really like to be serving.
Free ball coming to BC here. Pass tight, and again, that wasn't Terrell setting the ball. Number 5, Mike Zach set the ball, so...
Well, this is one of the benefits of having a setter who is physically adept. I mean, Terrell roofed a ball off the floor in hitting warm-up today, and obviously that translates as a setter into somebody who can set the ball well above the level of the net.
Side out there to the Dinos on a 31. Net serve. Galanzowski will go back to serve for BC. A lot of these BC guys, Tom, in the past have spike served. They, without a whole lot of success early in the tournament, the BC team actually finished 3rd in their pool, and I think one reason for that was they missed an awful lot of serves. They played Manitoba in their quarterfinal and chose not to spike serve a great deal and won quite easily. So we'll see if that spike serving can be controlled as the match goes on.
A little bit of a problem on the Dino side there, and that the first ball that was taken off the block wasn't really directed to the right side of the court where the setter would usually be, the quarterback of the offense. As a result, there was confusion as to whether the middle player or the outside player was going to contact it.
There's a kill-off transition for BC. Again, Galanzowski, pardon me, Mike Zach hitting a longer set of 31, about 8 feet away from the center. Both teams running a fair bit of those at the early stage of the match.
Unbelievable. I mean, you didn't see this 7 or 8 years ago at the juvenile level, but both these teams just wear out the 31. It's a difficult ball to set. It's a difficult ball to hit. But both these teams run it with impunity. It's a very consistent part of each of the team's offenses.
That time for BC, Alan Dack with a bit of a roll shot from the power position. Deep chip there by the setter. Outside, a little tight there, but again a tip. Free ball to BC. And that's the right side player, number 1, Sam Jeffrey, hitting the ball high and hard off the Calgary block. BC jumps out to a quick 6-1 lead here in this best-of-5 match. So things going well for BC so far.
Well, Sam Jeffrey's in there primarily to pass, according to the Victoria coaches, but you can see that he's also a very smart, very consistent hitter.
There's a look at the BC bench. Again, we talked about Ken Bentley being short. The silver-haired gentleman is Mr. Vic Lindell, who most of us would recognize probably more his voice than anything, but he's done an awful lot of commentating for volleyball in this country for quite some time. And Tom, if I'm not mistaken, he used to be your coach back when you were a juvenile.
Well, that's not quite true. Victor was the one that sort of discovered me up in some camp in Courtenay, and he was the provincial coordinator at the time that I was trying to make the provincial teams of the 75 Canada Games. And if the truth be known, I was due to be cut about 4 times, and Vic bailed my hide out each time, which is one reason I played volleyball for so long.
So there's the end of the replay there with BC hitting the ball hard off the block. While we were away in replay, there was another point scored by BC on a tip shot. Again, a short serve here to Calgary. Back row to Gent. He's blocked at the net. Outside. That ball is in.
Well, that's impressive. You look at Calgary's back row, and that's an international class back row. Oh, wait a minute. In international ball, you do not see a back row with much air on it. It's a very flat set, and this is the type of ball that Gent hits for Calgary as well.
bit of a dispute here over the last sort of serve attempt, I would guess. The whistle went and the Calgary player sort of threw the ball up and it may have gone off his foot, so we're not sure what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do here, but I thought he tossed it up after the whistle and the ball should go over the other side, but that's not the way the officials have confirmed it.
There's another back row here. Dug in the back row by Gent, and they'll go right back to the back row here. And there's another 31. That's number 3. Brody Wegner with the kill for Calgary. So a lot of good offense off transition here.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Jamie Benke hit that one. So U of C right now has at least 2 guys that are hitting this flat back row back there. It's just, to me, it's amazing to see that sort of thing out of juveniles.
And again, another 31 attempt there. That was 5 Mike Zach with a bit of a tip there, but Calgary unable to get it back. Sam Jeffrey to serve for Victoria. Short serve again, Tom. They're doing that a lot so far. Gent with the pass, but it's dug in the back row. That's hit in deep down the deep cross court, rather. Alan Dack with the kill. Tom, why is BC serving short in this rotation?
BC, what their assistant coach told me before the match is that they were going to try and serve the ball into the U of C stack a little bit and try to make the middle hitters for the U of C that are hitting those successful 31s have to play the ball before they begin their approach for the 31. Take them out of their preferred areas that they like to begin their approaches from and make things a little more uncomfortable for them.
So BC scored 1 point on a block of the back row by Gent, and since then Calgary has come back and scored another 31. Again, a long set away from the center. Good tough serve by Calgary.
Excellent pass.
That was Zach with the kill, pardon me, with the air down the line.
Just a little too fine there. He had a one-man block. If he chooses to hit line in that situation, he needs to have a little more margin for error there.
Outside here, nope. 4 hits to me, but
yeah, oh well. Ours is not to wonder why.
Tight pass there. It's back off,
ladies and gentlemen.
And that's number 3 again. Brody Wegner with the kill off transition. Some good defense being played, Tom.
Oh, definitely. This is good stuff.
I'm not quite sure what happened on that serve, but nevertheless, side out to BC. BC leads 9 serving 4 here in the first game. Number 14 is Alan Dack to serve for BC. Short serve again. They go quick in the middle. Dug up by BC outside. Hit hard off the block, but retrieved. Again outside, and he's stuffed this time. Brody and Exall with the stuff block, I believe.
It's an excellent block, and when a guy can rip the ball as hard as Chris Galanzowski does, then the ball's going to go down if it's blocked that much heavier too.
That time it didn't go over the net. 4 hits called on BC. 5
he's
serving
still
9.
Suffering from shock from the last one.
Yeah. Zach with the pass. Galanzowski somewhere in the middle. You don't like to see those high balls in the middle too often, Tom.
No, you don't. I think it might be time for them to see if they can go to somebody else other than Chris, because he's met with marginal success. There you go.
Zach with the hit in the middle, dug up by Calgary. That's put over. Zach 31 again, but he's a little bit late that time, and again he tips that ball in the middle of the net. Point to Calgary. Substitution for the BC team. Number 3, Justin Berger's in for number 12, Chris Galanzowski. So might be a bit of a tough rotation here. Back set to Zach. He hits it hard cross court past the drifting block.
That's a nice play. Yeah, the ball was just set past the block, and he had line to hit the whole way.
So Zach will spike serve here, see if he can get BC on a bit of a roll here. Takes a little bit off that one. Outside to Gent. He hits a half-speed shot cross court. Outside the Burgers, he hits a fluttering sort of ball, but Calgary called on the net. Point to BC. They lead 10 serving 7 first game. Steven hit this one a little harder. No, it takes a little bit off, but he makes it. Tough pass that time by Gent. Gent again half speed into the back row. 51 that time. Terrell with the hit. Nice dig in the back row by Calgary, but they have to give up a free ball. time to Calgary.
It's interesting, isn't it? The BC's run their entire offense with Terrell up until this point, and now they've decided that this is not going to be the case. Well, here he is setting again.
I think they just sort of alternate depending on the situation.
Yeah, I think if they need a change, they'll bring somebody else out of the back row, make Terrell into a hitter. It's a nice option to have.
Oathwaite to serve. Gent with the pass. High outside to him. He sneaks that past the middle blocker across court. You love to see those power hitters who can pass and then go hit, Tom.
Oh, definitely. I think BC is going to have to exercise some discipline on defense if they're going to successfully defend against him, because he has such excellent body control that he's going to hit the balls to the places where they're supposed to be anyway.
Quick set in the middle that time, again to 15. Tim Fitzgerald, he kills the ball. Side out to BC. Justin Burgers will serve for BC. They lead 10-7 first game. That one's not going to make it.
Yeah, whiffled that one.
So Gent will have a chance to spike serve, I believe, for Calgary. Just out by a couple of feet. Gent, having seen him play through most of the tournament, I'd have to say he's probably the most complete player in the tournament. Does it all. He can pass, hit, blocks well. Very stabilizing force among his teammates. So very nice looking player going to the University of Calgary next year. That one's a back row from him off the block. Free ball to Calgary. Quick in the middle. That's number 7, Jamie Bank.
That's a nice play. That's what's called a long 51 or a long quick, where the block will set up in your face and the ball is set beyond the block. The setter, or the hitter, pardon me, is expecting that sort of a ball and hits with nobody home.
A little bit of a roll shot there, which lands. That's number 10.
Well,
Sean Craig.
Alan Dack went after that ball with Terrell, and he'll come out second best every time in that collision.
He won't do that again. Outside here, dug in the back by Gent, but just scrapes the roof, so side out here to BC.
All we need is about 15 more feet on this ceiling, and this match would be even better than it is right now.
That's for sure. Sam Jeffrey to serve, 10-8. Good pass that time. Quick set in the middle, Doug.
Great dig. There's the 31 again. One thing BC wanted to do when I talked to them earlier is they wanted to pinch in their right side blocker, the person that normally blocks Calgary's power hitter, and have that person help out and start in 31 position, so they just have to go up and penetrate against Calgary's 31. Then if the outside ball is set, they would work inside out to cover that as a secondary option. But they don't seem to be having a lot of success against Calgary's 31 yet.
That's Gent coming out of the back row, position number 6. That's middle back, hitting the back row and killing the ball. So again, Calgary not at all afraid to run their back row guy, even when they have 2 or 3 strong hitters in the front row.
Yeah, we'll see if we get another replay here, Kerry. If not, I'll give you a little more info on Victor, the little general. No, it doesn't look like it. Anyway, Vic, a not commonly known fact about Vic is that Vic is also an annual competitor in the International Toastmasters Championship. So he's been a Toastmaster out there in Victoria for years and has the gift of gab, loves to talk, and actually finished 5th one year at the International Toastmasters Championship. So you know this guy enjoys being up in front of people.
I'm sure he has a very easy time relating to his players, too. He seems like the kind of guy who likes to talk to anybody, but certainly about volleyball. There's a carried ball on the part of the Dinos.
Well, he's one of these guys that was really a pioneer, because he began our BC Canada Games team prior to 1975, and it was the first program that looked at developing players for Canada Games over a 2-year period. We trained together for 2 years and really didn't have much trouble in the tournament once it started. But that was all Victor's baby. He decided that this was the thing to do. He had a critical path, and it was a very well done program.
So again, a 31 attempted there by BC. It looks like a bit of a slower set that time, but anyways, Calgary's on the net. Mike Zach will serve. We're tied at 10 here in the first game. Good strong serve, passed well by Calgary. Back set. hit down the line. That was number 11, Dana Bang.
Yeah.
Gotta love that name for a volleyball player.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a great hit by Bang, though, because the set, which was an out, was inside, and yet he was able to get underneath it and propel it down the line with some authority.
Galanzowski replies for BC, hits that ball very, very hard. Oathwaite to serve here, 10-10. They take Gent out of the rotation, but he hits it anyways. Brought him inside as opposed to swinging him outside. He's stuffed that time, so point to BC. We'll see if they try to occupy 13 again here for Calgary. Again, as Tom mentioned, take him out of the hitting rotation a little bit. Bang with the pass. He'll hit the right side attack. Dug by Oathwaite, and Gent finishes it off on the overbump. Dana Bang to serve. Cross court to Zach. Back set to Galanzowski. Little Chester there by Bang, but they get it up. Free ball coming to BC. Outside, and he is stuffed. That's Gent and Benke stuffing that high outside set.
Real important for BC to make sure that their sets make it to the antenna, because they've got to have the opportunity to go line, it looks like, before they're going to be successful hitting against Calgary. The Calgary middle blockers, while not huge, are getting their hands into the court, and it's pretty dark from when you look cross court from the BC side right now. Their setter needs to give them a few more options here, I think.
Again, short serve to Gent. They go right back to him, though. He hits the ball cross court. And that's the second rally in a row that we've had a net touch finishing it off. So we're still pretty tight here, 11-11 in the first game. Gent to serve for Calgary. He'll spike serve. Takes a little bit off that one. Zach passes it easily.
Boy, that's a
one-handed back set there.
Oh, boy.
I'm not sure why Calgary was asleep on that one, but anyways.
I don't know. I think Gent expected maybe the setter on the right side to back off on that down ball, and maybe thought it was his responsibility. Oh, boy.
Right side here to Benke, and that's in cross court. Benke will serve for Calgary. Again, it's all tied up, 11-11.
There's a serve.
Fitzgerald with the pass, Jeffrey. Over the net, Zach with the little tip to the right side.
You know, that was precipitated a little bit by a pass by Calgary that was unfortunately not as high as it could have been off transition. You want to give your middle people, the people that are hitting the quick sets, plenty of time to back up and make a good, comfortable approach to the ball. That ball was passed off transition very flat and had some unfortunate circumstances.
Point there for BC as Calgary hit the back row into the net. Another chance here for a point. Zach with the 31. Doug. And it's over again.
There's some great defense.
And there's Oathwaite with the little tip shot. Calgary wasn't anticipating that, so they go ahead 13-11 now. In this first game, Calgary calls a timeout. There's number 10, Tara Oathwaite, as Tom was mentioning, originally from Saskatchewan. Looks more like a middle linebacker than a center, but he does a good job at what he does. So.
He does. So the scary thing about that, Kerry, is you mentioned he's only in grade 11. This guy stands to bulk up a little bit and get stronger as time goes on.
We'll see a replay of the last last point here for BC. Again, they're serving short. A little bit of a tip shot there, and some great defense here by Calgary. They get it over the net, but they've just fallen asleep in the net there, and Oathwaite with a little tip shot there.
Calgary has run a couple of crossing plays in the last 5 minutes, and it's one of the difficult things when you're young is to discipline yourself not to bite on the quick set. You want to stay down, react to the quick set, and then go up hard on the second set if it's set. And BC seems to be doing a fairly good job of that to this point in time.
51 attempted there on the part of Calgary, but number 3, Brody Wagner, didn't get it high enough, I believe. So game point here for BC. Jeffrey serves. Again, serving short here. Quick set attempted. BC gets it up, and they'll give a half-speed ball. No, they won't. That's blocked at the net by Brody Wagner.
Yeah, good choice. That's tough to call, whether you want to call a down ball and stay down on it or whether you want to block a thing like that.
Sean Craig with the serve. They go right side to Oh, great defense. 31 again. That Zach puts it down.
That's a long 31, that is.
That's a very long 31. That's about I'm sure about a 12-foot one. So that's usually they're around 8 feet long. So this one a little bit longer than usual. 14 is going to serve.
How come we had so much trouble running those in university, Kerry?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You got these young punks that are 16, 17 years old running the blasted things. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
To be young again, huh? Calgary setter serves. Galanzowski doesn't get that one to go over. Exel, number 12, as I mentioned, the setter for Calgary. Calgary trails 12-14, first game. Zach with the pass. He'll go right side. And that's just off, pardon me, outside the line. So a point again for Calgary.
Here's my man. This is Mike DL. He's from George P. Vanier Senior Secondary in Courtenay, BC, my
alma mater.
Home school. Yeah.
There you go. And that's 4 hits called on BC. Galanzowski didn't get over, so we're tied at 14. So Calgary making a bit of a run here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. 14-11 to 14-14. And really, I don't think there's been a side out. Vic's made a substitution, but they've been 3 points in a row when the chips are down. You'd like a team to be able to work a little bit harder than that in order to tie a game at deuce.
Here we see the last point. Calgary serves. Passed a little bit tight, and the set is not a bad one, but Galanzowski not in a good position to hit the ball well.
Yeah, Terrell didn't really give Galanzowski a good look at the block there. But the set was about on the 8-foot line or something like that, and the setter's looking straight through the ball at the lights or the roof, and therefore can't see the block at all.
Oathwaite with the tip there. He went behind himself that time.
Calgary plays good defense.
Actually, both teams play very good defense. In the one match I saw BC play against Manitoba in the quarterfinal, they dug an awful lot of balls.
Yeah. I think when you look at the different offenses that are happening right here, these teams run fairly complex offenses. More difficult to play defense against a team that runs offense like these two teams do than it is against a team that runs a very deliberate high ball offense. And that's why it's so impressive, the type of defense that these two squads are playing.
Gent, he's got a tight ball to hit, and he doesn't do it well, so that ball is blocked. And BC wins the first game, 16-14, so very much a back and forth sort of struggle there, Tom.
Yeah, it was a good game. I was very impressed with that. BC jumped out to an early lead. Calgary fought back. BC allowed them to tie it. Calgary earned it, and the last 2 points were scored rather quickly.
Fairly fast-paced in that game, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. One of the things that you see on Calgary's side of the ball is that they've got two guys that are running these flat back rows that we were talking about. And a few years ago, you'd never see something like that, but internationally, that seems to be the way the game is going. Flat back rows and a lot more than one person hitting back rows. The Dutch, for example, are talking or have talked in the last few years about just running a quick set, and obviously having the two front row players are also in the hitting scheme, but everybody else running back rows. So one setter and 5 hitters, 3 of which are going to be hitting out of the back row. So you can see that Calgary's offense, to a certain extent, is a successive approximation of what is happening at the university level.
So when you have 1 setter and 5 hitters, that adds sort of a new meaning to the term 5-1 when everybody is in the offense at the same time. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, 5-1 usually means 5 hitters, but a few of them are in the back row and have traditionally been useless. They cover the hitter. This is not the case now with this juvenile team, and obviously with what's happening at the university and international levels.
So BC wins the first game, and we'll start game number 2 right away. I'm not sure that Calgary has found themselves in this position so far in the tournament. I guess they did lose one match to Manitoba in the round-robin play, but they did finish first in their pool. Had a very exciting match last night against Saskatchewan, which ended in a 15-13 fifth game victory for them. So they've been in tight spots before, though.
Yeah, both semifinals were tight last night. BC is a bigger physical team, or a more physical team. Calgary, however, is a real disciplined team. I'd be surprised if this went 3 straight for anybody.
Certainly, certainly. Dinos will serve first. That's number 3, Brody Wegner with the serve. But quick side out there from Victoria. Mike Zach will serve. We're just at the start of game number 2 here. BC won the first one. Good spike serve. Gent from the left side. He kills the ball.
That's an outstanding hit. I mean, he took some steam off that in the interest of cutting the ball sharp, but it takes a good player to cut a ball that sharply from 8 feet off the net like he did.
There's BC again with a 31 type set. That was number 16, Mike Dalziel, with the kill. Terrell Oathwaite to serve. He serves short again to Gent. They go right back to him, though. He hits the ball hard, off the block and out of bounds.
Good things happen when you access the top part of the block. And Gent there is hitting the ball off the top parts of the digits. Good things are going to happen for him.
And he spike serves that one in down the line. So Calgary draws first blood here.
Yeah, BC, if you notice right now, is hiding number 14 in the corner. He's not part of the passing scheme, and even though the ball was spike served directly at him, he just went, well, it's not my responsibility. And perhaps it isn't in their scheme.
Makes it difficult, too, when you know that the opposing team is going to spike serve, and you've only got 2 receivers back in the rotation.
Well,
it makes a lot of court to cover in a short period of time.
That's a good point. One thing that happens is that obviously the ball gets there a lot faster than it does on a conventional float serve, and these 2 guys that are passing instead of 3 do not have the necessary time to react.
Back set. That's Jeffrey with the kill on the right side.
Yeah. Again, Jeffrey's in there to pass the fig, and you don't see him hit an awful lot of balls. He doesn't carry a big hitting load for BC, but he seems to be efficient when he does get the ball.
An attempted quick there, which sort of sneaks over the net. Zach with the set. Back row here.
Yeah.
Again, that was Benke coming out of position 1 on the back row, but certainly in that rotation they have Benke coming out of 1 and Gent coming out of 6, so it makes it doubly more difficult for the front row to know who the heck's going to hit the ball.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I mean, I think BC served that ball too, so it takes more guts to hit a back row or run a back row when the other team's serving, because if you miss it, it's an automatic point than it does if you happen to be serving and then run the back row. If you miss that, it's a simple side out.
Miscommunication there for Calgary. Oathwaite with the dump.
Yeah, a little deep with that
back
one.
row to Gent here, and he stuffed this time. 2 guys up on that back row attack. That was Zach and number 14, Dak. Zach and Dak with the stuff block.
Zach and Dak with a tandem block.
Zach and Dak put it back, I guess.
Way to go, Kerry. A rhyme by Alcorn.
Side out that time to Calgary. Number 12, the center. Peter Exel will serve. He's done a nice job this entire tournament. Runs the offense really, really well. Outside to Zach. And he's blocked that time. That was Gent and number 3, Brody Wegner with the stuff block there. So both sides showing some fairly good penetration here as they block. Zach with the pass again.
Now here BC is running their offense from the left side. So, I mean, you talk about tough responsibility on a setter, and in one situation where he's facing towards power, or left side, he's got his right hand's his guide hand. He turns the thing around and sets from the left side, and his left hand is the guide hand. It's an unfamiliar territory for most setters.
And in that case, Calgary called with a carry ball. That was number 3, Brody Wegner with the sloppy-looking set. We're tied at 2-2 here in the second game. Dak with the serve, Gent with the pass. Outside the Gent. That's dug in the back row, and again, Dak will hit from the back row. Tight pass that time. They're still going, though. Outside to Gent. He has
Yeah,
the ball.
that's a great play by the line digger.
Outside to Gent again. And outside to Galanzowski, and he hammers it through the block. He has to block the old acid test. And
Well, I like the play the line digger for BC made there, Kerry. He sensed right away that the ball wasn't high enough for the Calgary player to really rip, and he started sneaking up the line. He was right in perfect position when the ball got there.
That was Sam Jeffrey with the dig you were talking about there. And again, number 11, Bang with the hitting error. Banged that one right out the back top. Benke with the pass, outside to Gent. And this time he scores cross court.
A nice high hit.
Brody Wegner will serve for the Dinos. They trail 2-4 here in the second game. Outside to Galanzowski, high off the block, but it's up.
Nice position.
31 coming. Calgary's on the net though. 2 men up in that 31, so that's what Calgary wants. They just want to stay off that net. Zach will spike serve for Victoria. Good tough serve. Outside the Gent. And he finds the cross-court corner. Bang will serve for Calgary. Little inside action here. Galanzowski comes all the way from the left side behind the middle hitter to hit a 53.
That's a nice play to run because the power hitter that hits that inside the 31 is already inside the court in the passing scheme. So he doesn't have very far to go in order to hit that ball.
That ball was hit out of bounds by number 5, Leland Nelson. He's one of 2 players on Calgary who are not actually from Calgary. He's from Three Hills, Alberta. And that ball is stuffed by your alumnus friend, Mike Delzeal.
Yeah, to go down and give him 5 for that one after the match is over.
So BC takes a 6-2 lead on that stuff block. Again, BC won the first game, and they lead in the second one, 6-2. I have to admit, I'm a little bit surprised that Calgary has been faring better than they have so far.
Yeah, I haven't watched them before this match tonight, but they seem like a nice, smooth team, good skills. Typical team to come out of Calgary. Their teams are always good. They're never bad.
Replay of the last point here. So they try to go quick, and Delzeal, I hope I'm saying that correctly, just gets all over that one, and down it goes. So BC up to the test here at the net. Even though, as Tom said, the offense for Calgary, actually both teams, is very, very intricate and well designed. Both wait to serve. Pass by Bang. A little pump in the middle there.
Yeah.
First time we've seen that today. That was Jamie Benke, who kind of fakes like he's going to go quick and then waits for the middle blocker to get up and then hits a bit of higher ball.
Just a little time differential action. Everything's designed to look like a quick or a 51 prior to the jump, and then the jump is just held. And the set becomes a 53 or a 3-foot high set instead of a 1-foot high set.
Galanzowski with the killer. That time differential thing, that's something Vic Lindell would say.
I'm sorry?
Vic Lindell uses that term oftentimes.
Oh, yeah. Vic, I think, figures he originated the term.
Galanzowski with a big spike serve there. Just a bit of a shank there from Calgary. BC begins with a 7-2 lead here. Galanzowski again with a spike serve. Tight pass that time.
Yeah.
Free ball given up to Calgary, and that is in. Good place to put that ball by Galanzowski, right down the line, deep in the court.
Yep. A lot of people will wonder why that ball is directed down there, and you want to direct free balls to the right back because that's where team setters penetrate from. It forces the 6-back or center back player to go over and cover that area, and in Calgary's case, at least that time, it didn't happen.
Dak with the line hit. It's up, but no second touch for Calgary. Delzeal will serve for BC. They lead 8-2, second game. Gent with the pass. And the Alberta Settlers call for 2 hits.
BC is trying to access the middle players, Calgary, so their 31s are slower or more uncomfortable. One thing they've got to worry about is that's not a short serve there. That's just an easy long serve. And Calgary's going to run some pretty nice offense off a serve like that.
Outside the deck, and he puts that ball down. So BC showing they've got a lot of firepower here, hitting the ball from all positions very, very well. 10-2, they lead in this second game. Again, not a real short serve. 51 in the middle, two-man block, but number 3, Brody Wegner puts it down.
That serve should probably be a little closer to the line, because the purpose of a serve like that would be so that the setter has to look back over his left shoulder in order to find the ball. Therefore, you lose sight of the middle hitters and the outside hitters that are in front of you. But as these players get older, they'll become better and better at those types of skills.
BC called on net that time. Calgary had a good block in their middle attack. 3 serving 10. Jeffrey with the pass outside to Dak, and that's off the block and the digger and out of bounds.
Well, I'm sure Vic has better expectations for Terrell Oathwaite than the punch set outside, but in that case it worked just fine.
Little tip shot there from Calgary. Peter Exall to serve for Calgary. They trail 3 serving 10 in the second game. Short serve to Zach. Again, it's that funny rotation for BC. Dak overpowers the Calgary block. Free ball. Oathwaite with the dump. Handled easily. Gent with another one. Tight pass. And there's Dak off the block.
That's a good shot.
Tight ball like that, you're not sure whether you want to hit it, but Dak just went up there and blasted it off the Calgary block. 10 serving 3. Short serve again, but not real short. Free ball coming.
Problems though.
Outside to Galanzowski. No touch on that, so side out to Calgary.
That serve does it pretty well. I think what it's designed to do. There's a middle player and a right side player for Calgary that are right next to each other, and I think Calgary wants their right side player to pass the ball so that the middle hitter is free to go ahead and make his approach and be on time. There was confusion in that second last ball there for Calgary.
Zach with the spike serve. Sort of a quick in the middle, but it's hit out of bounds. That's Benke with the error. BC goes in front 11-3. Zach with the spike serve again.
Good
Tough
spike
pass
serve.
there. Gent had trouble with that one. That's passed right to the standard off to the right side.
That's funny, isn't it? How a team can finish third in its pool and not really find itself in the way it wants to, right through its pool play and everything. I know BC had to go through a tiebreaker just to get into the playoffs. And here they are playing for the championship and up 12-3 and 1-0 already in the championship match.
So we'll see a replay here. A little spike serve here. Gent looked like he stood up on that one and it just got away from him. So again, an easy point there for BC. Getting back to what you're saying though, Tom, I saw BC play, excuse me, on Friday. In their pool, and they looked really quite unimpressive a lot of the time. And they weren't making their spike serves. They weren't doing a whole lot of things right, and they lost to Ontario badly.
Yeah.
A team who they beat in their semifinal, but they also lost to New Brunswick on Friday. So
is that right? I didn't know that.
They came back from some real dramatic experiences here. Zach with the spike serve. That one looked awfully close to me. Will serve for Calgary. 3 serving 12. Jeffrey with the pass.
They got away with one there.
Oathwaite trying to set the 31. He missed the hitter, but Calgary couldn't deal with the overset, so side out to BC. Bang with the pass. Quick in the middle again to Benke. Outside to Jeffrey. No touch. So they're wailing away up there, Tom, although they're missing some hands here.
Another two pass or serve reception pattern for BC off a spike serve.
Galanzowski will try his luck at a spike serve.
See, a lot of teams will go to a situation where the 3 people in the back row against the spike serve will pass in lanes. And they don't worry about it too much because basically they're not digging a float serve, they're digging a ball with topspin, which is just basically a down ball type of a situation. So with 3 people in lanes back there, there's less room for each of them to have to cover. And since they're digging a ball with topspin, they can do that. It's just like playing defense.
Free ball here to BC. Right side to Jeffrey. He almost puts it through. Bang in the back row. Point to BC. And they go up 13-3. Game number 2. BC won the first game also.
British Columbia seems to turn the ball very well from the right side and hit away from their body. So that's Jeffrey out there. Hasn't hit a lot of balls, but he does cut the ball down the line away from his body with a lot of authority.
And that was Calgary on the net there. Number 3, Brody Wegner, not able to pull his arm back as he hit the ball. So 14-3. Gent from the back row kills that ball cross court. You gotta like those guys who hit away when the game is on the line. Yeah, that's a good piece of hitting. Good serve. Dak with the set. Nice attempt there in the back row. The thing that makes a back row so difficult to attack is that it has to travel 10 feet before the block can touch it, really. It originates a long way from the net, so the timing problems this creates for a 2-man block is considerable. Gent out of the back row, but there's no touch. And that's game number 2 to BC. They take a commanding 2-0 lead. 15-3 the score in the second game, a rather convincing one. Calgary making an awful lot of errors. And so Calgary again with their backs to the wall. I'm not sure they've been in this sort of position before, down 2-0 in a best-of-5 match. I don't doubt it. So, I don't know what they have to do all that much better, though. It seemed to me that they didn't go 31 as much as they had in the first game. And I don't really know what they have to do here. Their passing isn't as precise as you'd like to have it, especially with two hitters in the front court, where the setter becomes a third attacker in essence. So I think they can take a few more chances and make sure that their chests are over their thighs, their weight's forward, and they can propel the ball to the top tape, to the point where their setter can become that third attacker, rather than to try to direct the ball maybe to 5 feet off the net, where really you're reduced to just having 2 hitters in the front row. Well, I think back to last night when Calgary beat Saskatoon Volleyball Club in their semifinal. They were gaining good offensive production through most of the front row and, as you say, the back row attackers. It's hard to say at this point that there's been one consistent attacker for Calgary. No one has seemed to really rise up and take the bull by the horns, although Gent has been, certainly attacking the ball in the front row and the back row, but not getting a great deal of kills or a great deal of results anyways. It'll be interesting to see how both teams handle this. There should be urgency on Calgary's side, and it'll be interesting to see how much there is on BC's side, because they've got a little bit of room to play with here. So we see one substitution in the game for Calgary. It's Chris Bodie in, playing left side. He attacked that ball. And that was Dak giving it a ride from the back row. Side out to Calgary. Exel will try to get his team off to a good start here in game number 3. Good cross-court serve. 31 to Zach. He hits it, but it's not down. Free ball low to BC. Zach with the pass. Nice transition pass. Oathwaite, again, assuming the role of a hitter, not a setter, kills that ball from the right side. Whoever passed that ball out for BC off transition there did an excellent job, because he was a middle hitter and he passed the ball high enough to give himself time to become a viable attacker or a fake or whatever. That was Zach, I think, yeah. An attempted a 61 there for Calgary. That was number 3, Brody Wegner, who was stuffed. So BC takes a 1-0 lead. Zach with the spike serve. Nice and deep. Out this time to number 1.
Yeah.
Again, that's Bodie, but he's stuffed.
Yeah, you've got in that situation where there's a middle hitter and a right side hitter so close together, you've really got to be cognizant as a right side hitter when you get the set that you've got to hit some sort of a drastic course, either strong cross court or strong line. But something in the middle of the block isn't going to get through because you know you're going to have such a tight block with the blockers so close together to start with.
BC scores another point with a nice little roll shot from Oathwaite. Again, Zach with the spike serve. That's passed tight. Blocked at the net, but out of bounds by BC. So the quick works this time for Calgary. That was number 3, Brody Wegner, I believe. He'll serve for Calgary. Good strong serve. Jeffrey takes that with his shoulder, but he's got it up. Galanzowski powers it through the block, deep into the court and in. Oathwaite will serve for BC. They lead 3-0. They lead the match 2-0. Deep out the bounds.
British Columbia has a very well-balanced team. The only guy that really doesn't tear the cover off the ball is their right side player, and he does everything else for them.
Certainly true. Right side to Galanzowski off his head, so this one's got to go, and it does. Right side, that's a bad set, but Jet makes the most of it, hits it out of bounds. He's complaining about people coming at him, but I think it was him who was going under. Good pass by Jeffrey, 31 again. That's dug up, though, by Calgary. And this time, Galanzowski and Dalziel waiting for that ball at the net. They put it right down. Galanzowski will serve. 3-1 BC. Good serve down the line.
Calgary really hasn't found an answer to BC's 31 yet. It has to do a lot with just the physical height. BC's middle guys are big and they jump a ton, and they're able to hit away with a lot of assertiveness and know that they're a little bit higher than the Calgary guys are. There's a size differential there.
Bang call on net there for Calgary, so BC jumps out to a 5-1 lead. Bit of a dispute here. We're not sure we have a timeout yet or not. There we go. Timeout called by Alberta.
What do you want to talk about this time, Kerry?
Well, geez, that's a good question now. We see the Calgary bench there, and again, in terms of sports psychology, what are you saying to your guys?
Oh, we got a replay. Good. Network bailed us out.
So we see a free ball coming here. Passed up, tight. Right side attack from Jeffrey. I think someone called a touch or a net touch or something, but
yeah,
Calgary
actually, I think Calgary's left side blocker was on the twine.
That's right. Bang was on the net.
Yeah, BC ended up with a point that they really didn't deserve. It's interesting where this guy starts his spike approach from, isn't it? It's practically in the end blues. It's a door open there that he's in danger of going out of.
Just out the back, though. Can you start outside the gym if you want to spike serve?
I don't know. I wonder what the rules say about that.
Another spike serve coming from Gent. That's out the back. So Calgary just doesn't seem to be monopolizing or capitalizing on any sort of opportunities here. Dalziel to serve. Good serve. Good pass by Gent. Outside to Bang. He does just what his name implies. He bangs it off the block. Jamie Benke to serve for Calgary. Again, Calgary has their 2 back row attackers in the back row right now. And BC has their own sort of back row attack, although it's not the kind that you really drop on the old
well, the BC setter really didn't do much with that ball. He just sort of faked a jump, but he didn't get a hand in front of the blocker's face and pull it down or anything like that. But it still works.
Another 31 there from Calgary. Nice set that time by Exel. Bang to serve. Zach with the pass. They go all the way across court to Dang. Pardon me, Dak. Dump there from Oathwaite. Back row tip. Jet looked a little bit off balance in that one. Dak to serve.
Attaboy, you got it right.
nicely by Jeffrey in the back row. Nice up there. Zach gives it a little roll shot. Gent from the back row, and he is just...
There's a nice block.
That is a great block. You don't see a whole lot of really clean stuff blocks on back rows, but it's happened a couple times here.
Well, block was coming down a little bit, but they hung in there long enough to get the roof.
Galanzowski and Zach with the block. Outside.
You know that's going to be a solid block.
Yeah. Outside to Galanzowski. He hammers it, and it's down.
Well, I'll tell you, Calgary right now is in a, anytime you pass towards the left side in their serve receive situation right now, then you've got both hitters compressed in a space of about 15 feet. You're not going to get a lot of deception in your offense there.
Zach
nice,
off the block.
Nice choice by their setter.
Back row to Benke. He kills it off the block, and I think a digger. So side out to Calgary. Exel will serve. Jeffries with the pass. And they get a little pump action there. Outside to Gent. Half-speed shot. 31. They got him that time.
Boy, do you see where Calgary put that serve? That's where scouting comes in. They serve the ball to the right side, and BC has two quick hitters in front.
Galanzowski hammers that one through. It looks like Calgary's trying to almost get that serve off as quick as possible sometimes. Maybe make it difficult for BC to get out of that little scrum they have in the back row there. Zach with the serve. Outside to Gent. Took the one-footed approach that time. The ball was a little bit slug for him, but he hit it out of bounds down the side. Zach with the spike serve, 8-2. BC leads. Into the net. Brody Wegner will serve for Calgary. 2 serving 8. Good tough serve. A long 31 again, and that is Dazil with the kill. Great set that time off a tough pass.
Well, in that case, you got to wonder who Calgary's left side blocker is blocking, because the setter was well off the net setting the ball. There was no chance of the setter becoming a third attacker. That's when you, as an end blocker, have to help out on the 31 to some extent.
That was Bodie from the right side who hit the ball, and BC called for a back row attack. Oathwaite attacking, or at least touching the ball while it was in the blocker's hands. Point to the Dinos. 3 serving 8. Back set to Galanzowski. That's stuffed at the net. And that was Bang and Benke with the block. Well-formed block there, Tom.
The killer bees?
I guess so, yeah. Nice dig in the back row. Calgary's on the net, though.
Yeah, Mike DL, I watched him, I guess, against Ontario earlier on in the tournament. And, well, BC didn't win the thing. I thought their middle, with both DL and the other guy, was extremely good. So this doesn't surprise me that they're having some success again in the middle. It seems to be the strongest part of their team, I think.
Galanzowski again serving that spike serve down the line. Bodie unable to get it up. Another line serve. More deep 6 than anything, but it just split the 2 serve receivers, and both of them left it for the other. So 10 serving 4, BC leads in this best-of-5 match. They won both games 1 and 2, so things looking good for them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they might think of going to a 3 deep serve receive and just incorporate another power hitter into or a right side player into the defensive scheme. And see if they can get a few more bodies back there so there's less room for the ball to fit between people. But the guy is ripping these jump serves, so whether it does any good or not, I'm open to speculation.
Again, you talked about how advanced some of these kids are. Again, spike serving at this level, you'd think that the spike serves would be a little inconsistent because they're just not as experienced, but they've done a great job, both teams really. Spike serving not only today, but all weekend long, and making a good high percentage of those spike serves.
Yeah. I don't know whether kids are more worldly at this age now than they used to be, but little things that used to make people like us nervous, like a national championship final, don't seem to have very much effect on them anymore.
Again, a little bit of a delay in action here. We're not
It
sure.
appears so. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I see the Calgary setter is engaged in earnest conversation with the official down there, so maybe that's what's happening.
Yellow card just came out, so
Oh, is that right?
he won't be talking much longer, I don't
Yeah,
think.
he'd better get lost or he's going to get the red. And,
Scott Boris on the stand there.
yeah. Well, Scott's been known to flip the odd red, so.
Never at you and I, though.
Oh, no. Well, we were always on our best behavior, so.
Good pass that time from Calgary. Gent from the right side. He puts it through the block and down.
Yeah. And that set had the result. A result that's consistent with what it's designed to do. I mean, the set was off the net. By the time the ball was hit, the BC block was on its way down, and the block dragged the ball down with it.
Here's a tough set.
Ball. Yep.
Chance to score a point, but the pass is not a good one. Tight again.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, he's right.
Yeah.
So that's just one big mess there. BC called under the net or into the net or any number of things.
Anytime you bump set a ball like that, you just want to be safe and split the difference between being absolutely perfect and being 2 or 3 feet further back than that. Carroll just got a little cute with his bump set, that's all.
Another bump set that time up to the ceiling, but it goes down. Side out to BC. 10 serving 5. DeZiel will serve. Good tough serve down the line. Bodie with the pass. Quick in the middle to Benke. Outside to Dak.
That's a good play. Yep.
He puts it off the
Nothing to
block.
lose by ripping a ball that hard when you get an opportunity like that off transition, even if you're not totally ready.
11-5,
Yeah.
BC leads. Bodie with the pass again. Outside to Bang. He does
Just
the
that
job.
again.
Off the right side blocker. Looked like the right side blocker was reaching a little. Benke to serve. Short serve, but out of bounds. Sam Jeffrey will serve for BC. They lead 11-5. Game number 3. BC leads the match 2-0. Good short serve that time. Quick in the middle to Wagner. Oathwaite with a little roll shot, and it comes back over. 31 to Zach.
Oh, boy.
And it's down.
Yeah, snuck it through.
Calgary complaining about some ball handling there from the
That's just
BC
called
passer.
bailing your setter out of a sticky situation, that's all.
Deep serve again. Bodie with the pass. 31. Wagner with the kill this time.
In that case, the 31 is so close to power that the outside blocker, in this case Terrell Oathwaite, can go ahead and just deny the 31, come back down to earth in time to get up again on the outside set if that's the one that happens. He didn't do that, and as a consequence, was late on the block.
Outside to Dak. Bodie outside.
Whoa.
Looked like there might have been a touch on that, but no call. Dak will serve for BC, 12 serving 5. Short serve, but not real short. Bodie with a pass back to Wagner, and it's down. Exel with the serve coming for Calgary. 5-12. They need some points soon. Short serve. Zach, no. Outside the Gent, but it's tight.
That's again just a question of trying to go off the outside of the block rather than just hitting your critical path that you know is going to take the ball on a course down the line. And,
Gent did a good job of even finding the block in that last one, but not such a good block, or not such a good job in that overbump there. So 12-6, BC leads. Zach with the spike serve. Good serve. Bang has problems with the pass. Gent from outside, and that's just out the side. So BC goes in front 13-6. 2 points away from the match if they can get some more spike serves from Zach. They do. Back. No, that didn't cross the net. That's Wagner. Called for 2 hits.
I think I can hear
14-6.
the fat lady sing.
You think so? BC with match point. Chance to win the national championship. Pass by Bang. Outside the Gent. He hits it hard cross court, and it's off the digger into the ceiling. So
Actually, the old education gym ceiling hasn't been as much of a factor as I thought it would be in this thing.
no. Wagner serves that into the antenna. So again, BC has a chance to win the match. Oathwaite to serve. To Gent. Outside to Gent, it's tight, but he still kills the ball cross court. So Gent's showing what he's made of here. Bodie to serve. Nice short serve that time. Oh.
Yeah, that's too bad.
A couple of uglies there. First of all from the Oathwaite from BC, and then bang, punching it out of bounds on his side.
Not going to make any highlight reels.
You'd hope not. Galanzowski goes for the linesman with that one.
It'll be a weekly menu of bloopers.
So that one woke the linesman up, I think. Gent to serve. He does well.
Nice serve.
Nice pass, though. Geez, I think Oathwaite's got to set those balls.
I think he does, yeah. But again, he's only been setting for 6 months, so.
That ball is blocked in on the line. That's Exall and Bodie, I believe. Sorry. Exall and Benke with the stuff block. Good serve again. Zach with a great pass. DeZiel with a little tip.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of mileage out of their middle.
DeZiel will serve for the match here. 14-7. Game number 3. BC leads the match 2-0. Good tough serve to Gent. And that's a stuff block for the match. Zach with the stuff block on the 31. BC wins the match 3-0. And some, I'd have to say, surprising sort of outcome for BC, but certainly one that's close to your heart, though.
It was, well, a little bit maybe, but it was basically just like a hot knife through butter for the last 2.5 games of it. It was very competitive for the first game, and that was about it.
Here's a replay of the last point. Gent with the pass. They try to go 31, but they're waiting for him, and down the ball goes. So BC, an impressive win, to say the least. Calgary, I think they've played better, but it just wasn't for them today.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they gave it everything they had, but BC never really gave them a chance to get emotionally into the match the way they probably have earlier in the tournament.
Well, on behalf of Shaw Cable, Tom, I'd like to thank you for being here with me today. And
a pleasure.
Thanks. We'll do it again sometime. So from Education Gym at University of Saskatchewan, Shaw Cable 10's coverage of the Juvenile National Volleyball Championships. Thanks very much.